I never imagined that one sentence could expose the ugliest truth about me, but it did. I guess you were my last option. The words slipped out casually, almost carelessly, like they didn't carry weight. I even laughed after saying them, expecting him to laugh too. He didn't. He just looked at me for a second longer than normal, nodded once, and went quiet. At the time, I thought silence meant acceptance. I was wrong. My name is Claire. I'm 33, and until recently, I believed I had settled. Ethan and I had been together for 5 years. He wasn't flashy. He wasn't loud. He didn't post motivational quotes or dominate rooms when he walked in. He was steady, reliable, predictable. And somewhere along the way, I convinced myself that meant I could afford to be careless with him. I used to compare him. Not always out loud, but often enough that he noticed. My ex had been exciting. My friends' boyfriends were ambitious, dramatic, intense. Ethan was calm. He listened more than he spoke. He showed up on time. He remembered details I forgot. He loved me in a way that didn't demand applause. At first, I appreciated it. Then I started resenting it. The night I said it, we were sitting in our apartment eating takeout on the couch. One of my friends had just gotten engaged to a guy she dated for 6 months. She sent a picture of the ring, oversized and sparkling. I scoffed and said something about impulsive decisions. Ethan smiled and said, "If she's happy, that's what matters." That's when it came out. "Well," I said, shrugging, "not everyone gets their first choice. I didn't. You were kind of my last option." I expected him to protest, to joke, to reassure me that he didn't mind. Instead, he set his food down carefully and asked very calmly, "Do you really feel that way?" I rolled my eyes. "Don't be dramatic. You know what I mean. Things didn't work out with the others. We did. It's fine." He nodded again. No argument. No lecture. He finished his food, cleaned up the containers, and went to bed early. I didn't think much of it. Over the next few weeks, something shifted. Ethan wasn't cold or angry. He was distant. He stopped checking in during the day. He stopped asking about my plans. When I spoke, he listened, but his eyes weren't searching my face anymore. It felt like he was slowly packing himself away from me piece by piece. One night, I finally snapped. "Are you punishing me?" I asked. "Because this is ridiculous." He looked at me, really looked at me, and said, "I'm just paying attention now." "To what?" I asked. "To how you see me." I laughed, defensive. "You're overthinking one comment." "It wasn't one comment," he said. "It was just the clearest one." That was the night he told me he needed space. Not in a dramatic way. No shouting. No accusations. Just a simple statement, delivered like a decision he'd already made. I told myself he'd come back. He always did. But this time he didn't. 2 months later, I found out through mutual friends that Ethan had moved on. Not just casually dating. He was in a relationship. And not with someone I expected. Her name was Lena. She wasn't loud. She didn't broadcast her life online. She worked as a physical therapist, volunteered on weekends, and had a laugh that people described as warm. When I finally saw a picture of them together, what hurt wasn't her beauty. It was the way he looked at her. Relaxed, confident, open. Like a man who finally felt chosen. I stalked her profile more times than I'd ever admit. I read the comments under their photos. "You two look so happy. This suits you. I've never seen you smile like that." That last one felt like a punch. Because they were right. Ethan was thriving. He got a promotion at work. Started dressing better. Gained muscle. He spoke differently now, with certainty instead of hesitation. People listened when he talked. And Lena, she didn't dim herself next to him. She didn't compete. She stood beside him like she was proud to be there. I tried reaching out once. Just once. I typed and deleted the message a dozen times before finally sending, "I hope you're doing well." He replied hours later. "I am. I hope you are too." That was it. No anger. No bitterness. Just closure I didn't deserve. That's when it hit me. I hadn't lost Ethan because I chose the wrong words. I lost him because those words revealed what I'd believed all along, that he was lucky to have me. I never stopped to ask if I was lucky to have him. By the time I realized the difference between being wanted and being settled for, he was already living a life where he never had to question it again. And the hardest part isn't that he moved on. It's knowing that he didn't just leave me. He outgrew me.